Here's a clip from the latest episode of What the Hair Do I Know? Check out the full episode wherever you get your podcast, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or Spotify. Please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. So you had this fast-paced life for a while, and then when did you realize it started to change and it was slowing down or it stopped?
I would say things started changing, I think, when my oldest was accepted to go to college in the Bay Area. And I think that was a pivotal moment in knowing my next chapters are coming in my life. And so as much as my oldest son and I loved my son at that time, we were like butting heads because, it's at that, he was at that age of like, I'm an adult, but I live at home. I don't want to play by the rules. I make my own money now, but I don't pay for anything, so we're like kind of butting heads. So when he got accepted to go to school in the Bay Area, I was like, go, live your life, go be on your own and everything, go enjoy college. And so when we packed him up and moved him up there and we came home with one less child, that was a little weird. And then at that point, my husband's daughter had moved out before that also. So we were down like 2 kids within a year. So then we were down to 4. And so I think that's when I started realizing we were moving into different chapters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how is it now that your last one graduated?
Yeah, that was it. I was talking to my daughter. I'm one of those parents. I don't get super sappy at big moments. Like, I don't cry really hard at graduations. I don't cry really hard at birthdays and stuff. And I think it's because I'm excited for my kid's next chapter. I'm not sad that I'm losing a part of my child or anything like that. I think I just get super excited. So I was excited for his next chapter because he was playing baseball and he wanted to pursue the next level and play in college baseball, in which he did. So I was excited about that for him. But at the same time, it was, wow. I think I told you, I don't drive down Dorothy Lane anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No, I only drive down Dorothy Lane. I mean, every once in a blue moon, but there's no need for me to drive down Dorothy Lane anymore. And so when I drive down it, I was like, wow, this is so weird. It takes me down memory lane of like driving past, the high schools and everything. So I think when he graduated, it was like, wow, I'm done.
And how'd you feel with all that? Like,
I think it did hit me actually. Okay. I did not cry during his graduation.
Okay.
I did not cry during the grad. I cried driving down Dorothy Lane.
Yeah.
Because that was the last time I was ever going to do that.
I could see that.
And so that's where I really kind of got emotional. It was like, wow, this is done. I'm really done with this. But I think, and then not having to do, you're not a part of anything anymore, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not a part of school activities. I don't volunteer at a school anymore. I don't do baseball stuff, with other parents anymore. Like, sports is kind of a social event, you build friendships out of it.
And you see all the friends.
There, all that stuff. And so all that was kind of gone. That was just done overnight. So I had no
like baseball community also.
Yeah. You see these people 2-3 times a week, and so you get really excited. You're like, I'm going to go see my friends, and stuff. And it's my kid's baseball game, but I get to see my friends.
Right.
That was done overnight. Not that we don't, I still go out with friends and stuff, but you just don't see them as often because life gets in the way. Right. And then just being able to volunteer and be in your kid's life day to day, you get to partake in school stuff. You can volunteer in sports things. You get to watch them excel in what they're doing. And that kind of just ended overnight. So that was weird for me, for that just to kind of like boom overnight, all that was done, especially being my last of 6 kids, of that just being done.
Yeah. I think about that with you because you were go, go, go. And you had it to the very end where my kids just told me the next day one day they're done with sports.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Wait, I didn't prepare myself. This is a me thing, not a you thing.
Right?
I didn't prepare
what
myself.
do you mean you're done?
Yeah.
Anyways, so you have these adult children now. How is that going? Like, and let's start there.
Yeah. I told you a while ago. So just to give a little background. So my oldest is 28, going to be 29 this year. So I have a group of friends from when he played sports who are a little bit older than me. And then you have your oldest and my youngest are the same age.
Right.
So I know you and I have talked about, oh my gosh, it's so hard, these teenage years. And I'm like, no. It's the 18 to 23 that's hard because they're adults, they make their own money, but they don't pay for anything and they live in your house.
Yay.
So that's the struggle there with that, because they're wanting to launch, but at the same time they live in your house. And so it's a struggle there. It's okay. So it's fun having adult kids and do adult things with your kids. I find traveling with my kids a lot of fun now, because they're older, they're adults, they're independent. I'm not dragging their suitcases around. I'm not packing their stuff for them anymore. So there's that part that I really enjoy now that I'm older, they're older, we're traveling a little bit more. But I still have the struggles of, like I said, they want to launch, but they're still at home and they can't launch,
Right.
And it's so expensive for young adults these days to try and actually launch, go live on their own. They're having to stay in school longer, even because colleges are impacted. So their education is taking even longer for them to graduate, and then while they're in school, they're trying to work and then, they're trying to save, but then they literally almost can't save enough to even move out if they wanted to. So I think we're finding that they're at home a little bit longer, I think, than like you and I were probably.
Right.
I mean, I was a young mom. I was pregnant when I was 20 and had my son 2 days after my 21st birthday, and I was living on my own at 22, so our kids aren't doing that at 22, let alone having a kid, but let alone being on their own at 22.
Yeah, I'm sure your kids, their perspective of thinking about where you were and where they are is constant in their brains.
Yeah.
The comparison of
Comparison.
There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I would think that they would be thinking about that quite a lot.